Hi, come on in. I'm Gerald, Oginski, a New York medical malpractice and personal injury trial lawyer, and I want to tell you something that I saw today in the New York Post. It involved a guy who died after being punched in the face. So why is that interesting? Well, this guy was uninvited at a get-together in his apartment building, and he tried to get in. And the person whose get-together it was turns around and punches the guy in the face. Now, you would think that that wouldn't be sufficient enough to kill the guy. Well, it really wasn't, but what happened was the force of the impact of the punch caused the guy to hit his head, suffering a skull fracture and a massive bleed, and he died an hour later. Now, let's put that situation in the framework of a bar. Let's say you're at a bar and somebody's drinking heavily and you are now asked to leave. And you refuse to leave and that person turns around, hits you in the face, you fall, hit your head, and now suffer death or some other type of injury that lands you in the hospital. Would the bar be liable for those injuries? There's something known as the Dram Shop Act in New York, which means that if the bar knew that the person was drinking excessively and didn't cut them off and didn't stop them, they have an obligation, they have a responsibility to turn off the alcohol to that particular person. If they don't, and that person then, let's say, gets in a car, drives, and causes injury to somebody, the bar will be held responsible for that accident. Now, would they also be responsible if that person causes physical harm to somebody who's actually in the bar, whether it involves death or serious injury? There's a good chance it will. The point is, in this story, this guy was punched once, landed, fractured his skull, died an hour later. Would he be responsible for the person's death? The answer is, of course, with many legal answers, it depends. And what does it depend on? It depends on the specific set of facts leading there, whether there was any alcohol involved or whether there were any other circumstances that may have contributed to what went on. And that's it for today's observation about an interesting topic, an interesting story that I saw in the New York Post. I'm Gerald Oginski. Thanks for joining me.